morning, boys and girls. This video is for Thursday, May 14th. Now, there are less than 2 weeks left of school, about a week and a half. So let's try to finish strong here and get all of our things done before you get to go on summer vacation. So the first thing we're going to start with is reading. And you get to choose your own books, remember. Just a little side note, if you have some library books that need to be returned to the library, start turning those in if you're done with them. And if you need to borrow a book for next week, make sure to let me know so I can send it with your supplies on Friday or Monday so you have something to read just for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so you choose your book. And on our reading response paper, remember we're going to have 2 weeks to work on it. We're going to do the second one. So you write the name of your book, and this skill is called visualizing. And visual has to do with your eyes, right? Your vision. So when you visualize something, you're seeing a picture of it in your mind. So what you're going to do is you're just going to write, draw a picture of anything from the story, a scene from the story, and then color it in. And it's a small space, so it's okay to draw stick people, but color the clothes on them and make it draw a little background or make it look like they're doing something that's in the story. So you're going to be reading for 15 minutes in your book, doing your visualization part, and then make sure to have your parents sign it on your reading calendar. For spelling today, remember, we're on sort 32, and our sounds are ow, spelled O-U and O-W. So this is on page 128. You're going to use these letters to make our words. Now, it would really help you out to take this list out and look at it. If you're having trouble and you can't figure out how to use these letters, then just copy the ones that we have here. But I'll show you how I would do it. Okay, so I would start with the T and say, is there a tau something here? Let's look, tau. Oh, wait a minute, there's town. I can write town. There's a T and an N. I could cross those off. Let's see, are there words that start with H? How. How's not on our list, but you could write how, right? How. Oh, there's a howl. Let's start with N and see if you have any word that start with N. Now. Now. Okay, what about L? Loud. Well, I see the word loud. It's not on here, but I could write that if I wanted to. Okay, there's words that start with, I see quite a few words here that start with C. So I could put cloud. I see that. Or I could put clown, or I could put couch. I see those. Okay, so go ahead and try to use these letters, but if you're having trouble figuring out what these letters are, go ahead and use this list. It does not have to be on this list. There are other words that have ow in them that you may write as well, but go ahead and fill up these spaces. So in our handwriting book, we're going to be doing page 70, and it says, don't repay evil for evil. Don't snap back at those who say unkind things about you. We are to be kind to others, and God will bless us for it. So that means at home, some of you might be getting a little impatient with your brothers and sisters. You might even be impatient with your parents when they're telling you you know how to do your work and you're tired. Well, it says to don't snap back at people, to be kind, and that will help us, and God will bless us for that. And obviously when you come back to school and your team, everybody on your team and at school, sometimes everybody's not perfect. Maybe there's some unkindness that goes on, but if we act kind to them, you know what? It can improve the situation a lot, won't it? And it makes God happy. So you're going to trace this with your pencil. Then remember, go to the back of your book, pick any page you like, tear it out, and write this verse. So for math, we're going to be doing check progress on page 683 and 684. That means if you usually come to Zoom and do your math, I'm not going to do all these problems with you because I want to see what you know, because I'm supposed to check what you've done. Now, you're going to need your tools. So get your ruler, your yardstick, your tape measure. If you don't have all of those things, just get what you have to measure these items. So first, you're going to draw a line to the correct definition. What does this mean? Which goes with each word for measure, foot, and yard. Then when you come to these items, you're going to measure these items in real life. Don't measure these items on the page. So find a marker, find a crayon, measure them, and then you're going to say the marker is either longer or shorter by how much. Now, if they were exactly the same, then you would put by 0 inches. Sorry, the marker is the length, put the number here, sorry, and then put longer or shorter there. All right, same thing here. How much the difference is and how much longer or shorter. So you're going to measure a chair, and then if you have a filing cabinet, measure that in feet. If you don't have a filing cabinet, measure something else and just write in what you measured instead. Okay, on the back, you're going to measure each object twice using feet and yards. That's where it really comes in handy if you have these tools. If you don't, you'll just have to figure it out, because this regular ruler is exactly a foot and the yardstick is exactly a yard. If you don't have those, when it comes to the yards, remember, there's 3 feet in a yard. You could do the math if you don't have that tool. Okay, and this one you're going to measure in inches and feet, and then you're going to measure in inches and feet when you get to your bookcase. Now, you're doing it to the nearest inch or the nearest feet. So it's not going to be exact, because you might measure something that's, say it was 7 inches, okay? That is not a foot, but it's closest to 1 foot. So when you measure it again, it'll say 1 foot. Well, 1 foot is 12 inches. So it might not be exact because you're just measuring to the nearest foot or the nearest yard. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to measure exact. You're just measuring to the nearest foot or the nearest yard or the nearest inch. Okay, on number 9, you're going to say what would be the best tool to use, and then you have a word problem here. Okay, so today we're going to be doing Generation Science. That means you're going to get on the computer, you're going to click on the link, and you're going to watch the video that talks about animals that help their babies survive. So watch the video, and then you're going to fill in and do this Genius Challenge. So make sure when you do 1 through 6, the answers are up here. So just match. So which one does communicate mean? Communicate means talking to each other. Which picture looks like communication? The best, okay? The best answer, okay? Now, on these, go ahead and do, you're going to do A, B, C, or D, multiple choice, and then here you have to list 2 ways that human parents help their babies survive. Now, if you'd like to do the extra credit project, today we have a DIY activity with your Generation Science, and you get to make a bird collar. And I've included a yellow piece of paper that you can use to make it, and on the video they show you how to make the bird collar. And if you do that, that would be fun to send us a picture or a video so we can see that you did it. So I just have a little business to take care of here. First thing is, those 3 black and white pictures that I gave you in your packet last time, they're just for you to keep. I was getting some pictures printed, and I thought those would be cool, so maybe you can give them to your parents, your grandparents. I thought they were kind of cool. I think they look artsy when they're in black and white. Okay, the other one is we're doing our Georgia O'Keeffe art this week, and next week I have a different Georgia O'Keeffe project that's new to me. So I think that I'm kind of excited about that. But anyway, this week you have your poppy, and some of you have already sent pictures of your poppy. But what Mrs. Moore has asked me is, in the school play, The Show Must Go Online, Georgia O'Keeffe is in it. It's about famous Americans, and she's one of them. So she would like some pictures of people holding their Georgia O'Keeffe poppy. So if you send me a picture with yourself and your poppy, I will pass it on to Mrs. Moore, and hopefully it will make it into the show. The other thing is, Friday for Zoom, we're going to have Share Day. And you can share about any hobby that you have. A hobby is something you like to do for fun. So that could be a sport, some kind of craft activity, something you like to do at home, something you do in your spare time. Anything like that that you do for fun is a hobby. So you can either send me a picture of you doing a hobby, or you can bring the item to Zoom and you can hold it up and we can look at it and you can tell us about it. So for example, if I was going to share a hobby, I might show you a picture of this. I've been making with my husband some Christmas decorations for our house, and I showed you the process. Now on Friday, I'm going to show you what the whole set of Christmas decorations looks like with me in it, and you'll see they're about as tall as I am. So that was a hobby, making something with wood and painting it. That's a hobby that I have. So I want to see a hobby that you have. And sometimes hobbies change depending on time of your life. Like right now, I have a lot of time at home, so that's why I started that Christmas decoration building hobby. Other times, maybe you go places and do your hobby, but right now, it's probably going to be a hobby that you do at home. So I can't wait to see that on Zoom on Friday. Also, your triorama. I'd really like you to turn those in tomorrow when you bring your things. If you're having trouble and you haven't finished it yet, just keep working on it and get it done by the end of the school year. But you need to turn that in for your science grade. So make sure you're working on it. And I was going to show you Cooper's. So this is Cooper's, remember. Yours is going to look something like this. Make sure to cut the board down before you start. And we also saw a picture of Kayla's on Zoom. So go ahead and work on that. And hopefully we'll see it in the classroom soon. And then I'll be able to take pictures and give you a little tour of our posters and our projects.